today I'm here with an exciting guest. It's Becky Muelschen, and she's going to share her testimony, how God saved her out of a life full of addiction and even periods of homelessness, and where she had seen loss of her children, but Jesus restored her in a beautiful way. So listen in and welcome Becky.
Thank you.
Has Jesus been good to you?
Oh, I can't even imagine. I mean, you can't imagine how good he's been to me. I guess you can.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, let's start. I want to hear, where does your life start?
Well, it probably started when I left home.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Home was good.
Mm.
I had a good life. I had good parents.
Mm.
I grew up in church, Pentecostal, Holy Roller back.
Wow.
And a lot of condemnation.
Oh, okay.
But that's the way my mother was raised too. So, but anyways,
would you say you met Jesus when you were young, or were you just around the things of God?
That's a hard question for me to answer because I know I loved him.
Yes.
And I wanted to be a missionary when I grew up.
Okay.
And I would cry when I didn't get to go to church and to Sunday school and stuff like that. And my heart was there.
Yes, you really had a hunger for God.
Yeah, I did. And when I got married, my husband married me to get me out of the house, and I married him to get out of the house.
Oh, yes.
And we lasted 13 years. We had 2 children. Praise God for my children. It's like you think you made a mistake, but you really didn't, not when the kids are brought in.
No.
And I had 2 great kids. I guess my husband was an alcoholic.
Okay.
And when he would come in 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning and be mad because dinner wasn't on the table and his bathwater wasn't ran. And I would get beat up a lot. That went on for about 8 years until I finally beat him really bad once he passed out. And he told me I should have done that a long time ago. But he was a musician. They had a band. And towards the end of our marriage, I started dabbing a little bit in drugs.
Okay.
The musicians, their wives, they would put meth in their coffee.
Oh.
And they said, "Have you ever tried it?" And I said, "No." They said, "Do you drink coffee?" I said, "No."
Yes.
And so they give me a cup of coffee and they put a little bit of meth in there, and I really liked it. It didn't take long.
Wow.
For me to like that, and that's the way I did it for a long time. It was in coffee, and then we ended up getting a divorce, and it was horrible. The times in between, him showing up, and he stole my car and all kinds of things. He had went down and got a pink slip, filed for a lost pink slip, so there was nothing I could do about it.
Oh. What does that mean, a pink slip? I don't know that word.
It's a title to the car.
Okay, yes.
Yeah, and but so anyways, let's see. I started partying a lot and hanging out with everybody else that was partying.
What had happened with your walk with the Lord during these years?
Through those years, I wasn't walking with the Lord.
No, okay.
It was like when I left, I was born and raised in Ohio.
Yes.
And my husband was born and raised in California. And so after we got married, first we went to Florida, and then we went to California.
Yes.
When his grandmother had passed away. So we come out there and we stayed and made a lot of trips back and forth to home for me, because I would get homesick and leave the next day.
Oh.
But
you couldn't wait to get home, and then you couldn't stay being home.
Right.
Oh.
But then my second marriage, I started out going to church, was still going to church when I got to California with my son. I had him dedicated before we left, And, I didn't have no plans on leaving the church. It just worked out that way. It was like, once I got there, it was like, okay, she can't tell me what to do. My house was a mess because it was like we were always doing spring house cleaning at home. And it was like, I just don't have to do anything I don't want to do. Well, I wasn't hurting anybody but myself. And I'm not like that anymore.
No, of course. You're sitting here, and I know you from church. Your life is a testimony, and you're telling where you come from, and that just brings glory to God. But it didn't start out, your adult life maybe didn't start out in a wonderful way.
Right, it didn't.
No.
My second marriage, my husband, I met him at work. I never dated anybody that I worked with or anybody that I met in a bar. Because I figured if they were there, they weren't in any better shape than I was, That's
probably wise.
Yeah, so I was a professional dart thrower.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And so that's why I was there. I usually didn't drink when I was there. They would have my Pepsi on the bar when I got in there. And I was a Pepsi-holic. Not an alcoholic.
No.
But anyways, let's see. Where was I going with that? My second husband. After I did a lot of running around, I met him at work. And then we had gotten laid off. And we were on strike. That's what it was. And after I left there, his mother babysat for me. And so after I left there, we ended up seeing each other and stuff like that. And we ended up getting married.
How old were your kids by then?
My kids, my son was in first grade. My daughter wasn't in school yet.
So for a while you were a single mother with young children. Oh.
I was single a lot. Raising my kids. I pretty much raised them by myself.
Yes.
Never got child support, but one time from their dad. They, the welfare, I guess, attached his wages. And we both worked for Blue Diamond growers. And he says, well, I'll show them. After they attached his wages, he quit his work. He never went back to work again. He just did odd jobs. And so I never
received anything.
Never got any child support ever.
Wow.
And he wouldn't even do nothing for me. One time, we were living at the river because we didn't have nowhere to go. And some friends of mine come and picked us up and took us to their house. He says, I want you to call your husband or your ex-husband and see if he will help out with one of the kids or both. Just anything,
Yeah.
And I called him up and I asked him, and he says, Becky, I have my own family now.
Oh.
So I never asked him for another thing.
No, of course.
And I did it by myself, and I did a good job. Other than, I was a good mom, but I'd like to say I was a good drug addict, but there's not a good drug addict.
No, you were still taking a lot of drugs.
I was still taking drugs.
Yes.
And working every day.
Yes.
But
so you, on the outside, it looked like you had held it all together because you were raising your family and you were doing your job, but still you were addicted.
It looked like it. I'd get all cleaned up, my makeup and everything for work, and I'd go over to my connections. And he told me one day, he says, I don't think I can let you come back over here because you look too straight. And he said, everybody's starting to question you. Thought maybe I was a cop or something.
Okay, I see.
But anyways, I got with my second husband, and we were really great friends. And I was pretty sure I was in love with him. He said he was an ex-heroin addict, and he would buy these pills called Dilaudid, which is a synthetic heroin. And the only difference between the two was you knew how much you were getting.
Okay. So he wasn't really an ex-heroinist.
He wasn't. Well, he did before, but not then.
No.
But no, he wasn't really an ex-heroin addict.
No, he had still some addictions, yes.
And as a matter of fact, he was a junkie. And we were together about a year or so, and I kept wondering, what is this hold?
Yeah.
That this needle has on him.
Oh.
And it came before anything.
Oh, yes. Even before you and the
before
children.
me and stuff. And so I got curious and I wanted to try it.
Oh.
And I started using that way.
Yes.
I didn't do the heroin. I just did meth.
Okay.
And
you got stuck in it?
I liked it.
Yes.
I have an addictive personality, I think.
Yes.
And
but I mean, anyone can get stuck in it, of course. But
yes.
Some are more easily.
Yeah, it was pretty easy for me.
Yes.
I mean, that one really gets a hold of you, and it won't let go. It's the devil.
Yes, of course. Yes, it is.
And
yes.
I did that for a year or so.
Yes.
And I ended up getting hooked on the synthetic heroin. And it was an accident. But what I did was, you have to draw your stuff up through cotton.
Okay.
Because it gets all the impurities in the cotton. Well, I would use his dirty cottons to draw my meth up. Oh. And I never realized what I was doing. All I knew
was contaminated.
Yeah, all I knew was I was having a good time and I wasn't in any pain. Oh. Because that cuts the pain. Well, one day I started getting really agitated.
Yes.
And I told him, I said, I don't know what's wrong with me, but I need to get out of here. I'm going to go to the flea market or something. I got to go walk around. And he says, well, describe to me what's going on. I said, I don't know. Oh. I can't describe it. I said, I just, I want to hurt something. And he says, you've got a monkey on your back. I said, what is a monkey on your back? Yeah. He said, you need a fix. I said, I don't need anything. No. And he says, it'll make you well. He says, you're going to get sick. He said, it'll make you well. I said, I'm only going to do this one time. Oh. And he says, well, if you can do it, I'll do it. He said, but you do it first because we'll end up killing each other. Yeah. Well, it took about a week. I was sicker than a dog. And it was horrible. And towards the end of that week, when he seen I was going to make it, he would beg me, let me go get something to make you feel better. And I said, no, I'm not going to go through this ever again. No. And I got beat up by him a couple of times during that week because he knew he committed to doing it. Yeah. Well, he never did. But we ended up getting busted. We were selling drugs and the meth, and I was selling 1 pound to 2 pounds a week, probably. Yes. We were making money hands over fist. I got to where I was bored with shopping. I couldn't think of nothing else to buy.
Really? You made so much money from this?
Yeah. Wow. And but we ended up getting busted. We went to jail.
How long were you in jail for?
I wasn't in jail that long. I got bailed out. I had been in jail before a long time ago, but before that. But I got bailed out. My husband didn't get bailed out. He had priors. I never had any priors. Okay. And he wanted me to take the rap, he called it, for everything because he said they wouldn't do anything but slap your wrist. Oh, okay. He said, and they'll put me away. And our lawyer told him, he said, he cussed him out. Yeah. He said, I'll represent you, but I want you out of my office. He said, I will not represent you. He said, you're no kind of man. And I don't know. But anyways, he went to jail for 2 years. And I was buying a trailer that we were living in. I don't know.
And you and the children were living in that trailer? Yes.
I don't know how his mom got a hold of the title to it or whatever. No. But before he got out of prison, she had paid it off. Oh. And when he got out, he kicked me out. Oh. And the kids. And that's when we were staying at the river. Wow.
How old were the kids then?
I think my son was in 3rd grade, and my daughter was probably in 1st. Yes. something like that. I have a hard time remembering the
Yes.
ages.
And how was life there? What did it look like to stay by the river?
I made them think we were camping. We had a
yeah.
really good time.
Yeah. But you were basically homeless.
We were homeless.
Yes.
And CPS found out about it,
Yes.
that we were down there, and they would show up and the kids would take off running.
Wow.
They never did catch them.
Mm.
And, but that's when my friend come and,
Yes, and
you know,
brought you.
they put us in a hotel room, him and his dad, for 3 weeks
Wow.
with ice chests full of food and stuff, which was really cool.
Yes.
But, and I was waiting to get my unemployment started.
Yes.
I worked seasonal.
During this dark period of your life, did you ever, think about turning to God again, or where were you in your walk with the Lord?
I wasn't walking with the Lord at all.
No. And it never really, at that period.
No, I was walking with the devil.
Yes. Mm.
You know, I wasn't walking with the Lord. I never thought about it.
No.
You know, moving up, my third husband, he's the one that killed my daughter.
Oh. Tell me about, how did you meet him? What happened there?
He used to live across the street from us when I was with my first husband. And so we had known each other for a long time, and I ran into him at the bar throwing darts. And we started hanging out, me and him and my brother. And we just ended up staying together for a long time. We were together for about a year before we got married. And I made a joke one day. I told him, I said, "You look just like my third husband." He said, "How many times you been married?" I said, "Twice." And so, but anyways, we ended up getting married. And it just, you know, drugs and marriage doesn't mix.
No.
Neither does alcohol.
No.
Marriage, it was horrible. But I don't know. I know that when I left him, he was really upset about it. He had told my friends, "Nobody leaves me. If anybody leaves, I do the leaving."
Oh.
And he chased us all over the place.
Oh.
And one night I was at the bar throwing darts, and he come in, and he walked up and put his cigarette out in my drink, my Pepsi, whatever. But then he sat outside for a long time in his truck, and I knew he was waiting on me to leave.
Yes.
And so I called my kids.
Yes.
And I asked my daughter's boyfriend if he would come and follow me home.
Yeah.
I had no idea he was going to bring the kids. I mean, it was like I did exactly what I was trying to protect them from. I never let, they never came to the bar or anything like that. And they came with him. And I thought, okay, this may not be good. But my daughter was in the back seat. My son was sitting in the front. And it was my son's birthday.
Oh.
And he chased us clear across town.
Oh.
I thought I had lost him.
Yes.
And then I got up to a red light, and he come with, I had a little Volkswagen GTI. And he come and he ran over it with his 4-wheel drive truck.
Oh.
And it completely crushed my daughter in the back.
That's terrible.
And I flatlined twice on the scene. He was trying to kill me, not her.
Yes.
Of course, in court, he said he was just trying to stop the car. And he did. But he backed off the car and he pulled up. My son wasn't knocked out or anything. He got a whiplash, but he pulled up next to the car and he looked right down in my son's face and then drove off and went and hid. And they found him. But
how old were your daughter?
21.
21. Oh, how terrible.
Yeah, it was. It was really hard because I blamed myself for a long time.
Yes.
It's like I called them down there and I had protected them from that.
Yes.
For a long time. But who could have known? I went through a lot of mind changes after that. I stayed married to him because I thought, well, I want to get his Social Security. And then once I gave my heart to the Lord,
Yes.
I didn't care about that no more. I went ahead and got the divorce.
But what happened? This was not long before you gave your life to the Lord, or what happened? Your daughter was killed. They found him and sent him to prison. You were still married to him.
Still married to him, and I was still doing drugs. I tried to quit for a while. I wasn't using a needle anymore. Okay. I had quit that before she got killed.
Yes.
A good friend of mine, I credit him to saving my life practically.
Yes.
He put up with me for like 6 months of being horrible. I was a horrible person to get away from that needle.
Wow.
And, but I was still doing meth. I would put it in a capsule and take it that way. And I was still working, but I never really mourned my daughter for a long time. I was afraid if I did, I wouldn't come back.
No. You thought that would pull you deeper down into addiction and stuff? Well,
I just didn't think I could get over it.
No, I understand. And where did you start to turn to Jesus, and what happened?
I never turned to Jesus until I went to Florida to take care. No, that's not right. I got clean.
Okay.
From everything. And I seen an ad in the paper. I was looking for another job, and they needed an inventory specialist at Winco.
Okay.
So I thought, I'm an inventory specialist, and I couldn't wait to test, to drug test. I thought, yay, because I'm so clean. Well, when I got there, I filled out the application and everything, and they seen I wasn't a high school graduate. And she says, you got all the qualifications except you didn't graduate, so we won't be able to use you. Well, I cried all the way home. And I kept thinking, this was for nothing. But then I thought, I've come too far to go back.
Yes.
When I first quit every day, that was what I said to myself, you've come too far to go backwards. And so I didn't get that job, but I called my mom when I got home, and I was crying, and I told her, I said, I worked so hard. And I said, and I didn't get that job. But it took me, for 2 years after I had quit, I would go to work, come home, and go to bed. I couldn't do anything. I was worthless. But I kept working. And then one day, about 2 years went by, one day I noticed I got up and I fixed breakfast, and I did the dishes, and I was running through the house, and I'm thinking, okay, I'm back.
Wow.
And so I was really hurt when I didn't get that job. And when I told my mom, she called my aunt. She lives here in Texas. And she worked for Ren Web School Management, Wilcom Software. And she was the business manager. And she just called me up out of the blue. I hadn't seen her in 40 years.
Wow.
We were estranged from each other.
Yes.
And she asked me a little bit about my work ethics and stuff. And she said, do you have a computer? I said, I do. I have a really nice one. She said, do you have Windows and stuff? I said, I have Windows. She says, what do you do on it? I said, I play a mean game. And I know how to turn it off and on.
Yes.
But anyways, she told me if I'd be interested because they let people work remote.
Oh, wow.
So I got hired through them, and my life just started getting better. And come Easter that year, she asked me, my whole family's Christians and preachers and stuff. She says, are you going to church Easter? I said, I don't know. I never really thought about it. She says, well, maybe you should. The Lord's been awful good to you.
Yes.
And I said, okay. So I called a friend of mine up, the only Christian I knew. And I said, are you guys going to church Easter? They said, what time you want us to pick you up? So they came and they picked me up.
Yes.
I ended up getting saved there. It was a little Baptist church.
Wow. Tell me about that.
Yeah, I got saved there. The pastor there.
Did you just know that Jesus was for real, or how did your salvation come about?
It just did.
Yes.
And I had a little happiness that I hadn't had in a long time.
Wow.
But
and you realized that Jesus was for real.
Yeah, and that I needed to have my rear end back in church.
Yes.
And but the pastor there, I wish I could think of his name. He was so precious. He was so funny. Then I was living with a guy, Bobby. I lived with him for 16 years. He asked me to marry him several times. And I said, when your husband starts killing your kids, I don't have no interest in getting married. I'm sorry. I wouldn't marry him. And besides that, he didn't want to work unless, we lived on a ranch. And he would go down there and work if the urge moved him. But other than that, he was such a great guy. I couldn't handle any confrontation after what had happened. And so, that's just kind of where I stayed until I quit doing, the drugs and stuff. It was still around me all the time. It was really hard.
Yes, of course.
And so I decided that we were going to break up. But it was funny because I talked him into going to church with me one Sunday. And the pastor would always go to the back of the church afterwards and tell everybody bye, shake their hands and stuff like you guys are doing.
Yeah.
And he said, "Is this your husband?" And when we were leaving, and I said, "No, this is my boyfriend." He said, "Then you got something you need to take care of, don't you?" Right in front of him.
Wow.
And he was not happy about it.
No.
But he says, "Wow, he was kind of rude." I said, "No, he wasn't being rude."
No.
But it was cute.
Yes.
And he wouldn't go back to church. I moved out of the bedroom and was on the couch for about 3 months trying to get it together so I could leave.
Yes.
And I ended up selling a lot of stuff. And my mom and my stepdad he was really sick. And so I moved back there to help take care of her. And
had she been praying for you all these years?
Her, my aunt, my grandmothers. I've called her up before and I said, "Stop it." I could tell when she was praying for me because everything that could go wrong did.
Wow.
It's like.
But I mean, when I hear your story, it's amazing that you survived all of this. And I that's why I was thinking someone must have prayed for you. Yes.
He did. He had, because there's no way I should have lived through all this.
No. Okay, but you've moved back to take care of her.
I did. And not at first. I told her my stepdad had cancer. And I had went and visited them for a month. And then I came back home.
Okay.
And I told her, I said, "Mom, when Carl gets really bad, and you guys have to bring in hospice or whatever, you call me and I'll come home. Come and help you." And she did. And when I got there, she claims that he waited on me. Oh. But, I don't know that that's the case.
No.
I have my doubts. But anyways, when I got there, he goes, "Becky's here." And 20 minutes later, we had him in an ambulance.
Wow.
On the way to the hospital. And they put him in hospice right then. We slept there for 7 days.
Wow.
Yeah, so I stayed there and took care of my mom or helped her. And she's a very independent lady. Good Christian. I started going to church there. I never thought I'd ever find another church like that one that I liked until I came here.
Wow.
And I tried some others, but it just wasn't.
No.
This was home when I got here. I felt it.
Oh, that's wonderful.
But my son followed me here. He was living in Madisonville.
Was he doing okay? Or?
He was doing okay. He was working for himself. He had a business started.
And that is a miracle also. I mean,
it was.
Thinking about his upbringing and the instability that had been part of it. I mean,
and he was on drugs for a while.
Okay.
But, and so was my daughter. As a matter of fact, I was scared to death. I thought, "Oh, dear God, I don't know if she made it to heaven." And my mom kept saying, "Well, if she seen the truck coming and she called out to God, then she's probably in heaven." Well, for some reason in my heart, I just didn't think that she made it. And after my son got killed.
What happened with your son?
He come home from work and he had left a big bundle of keys there. So he went back to get them, put his little dog in his backpack. He was riding his motorcycle. and had his helmet on and everything. He was doing, he wasn't breaking the law or anything.
No.
I was so proud of him in a way.
Yes.
But went and got the keys, and he was coming back. And there was this guy in a Cadillac Escalade that was weaving in and out of the traffic and stuff.
Oh.
And then he come around this diesel truck, and my son seen him coming, and he was trying to get out of the way.
Yes.
And trying to miss him. But the Escalade hit him head on.
Oh.
It broke Benny's motorcycle in half. He flew up in the air and come down and landed on the back of that diesel truck bed.
Oh.
And the police were looking all over for him, and the guy in the truck kept trying to tell him, he's on the bed of my truck, and they kept telling him, shut up.
Oh.
But they finally found him. They called me at 10 o'clock, his girlfriend did, and said, Shane's gone. And I said, well, where'd he go?
Oh.
I mean, I was asleep.
Yes.
She said, he's gone. And I said, well, honey, where'd he go? And she said, he's dead. And I said, no, he's not.
Yes.
You know, she said, no, Mom, he is. And I didn't believe her at first. And I said, well, okay. Yeah, I mean, I was sound asleep. I said,
Yes, of course.
I'll be there. I'm coming.
Mm.
And we got up and went down there, and they wouldn't let me see him.
Oh.
And that was so hard. I haven't never got past that.
No.
I said, and my aunt and uncle they followed us down there, and they're pastors.
Yes.
And he talked to the funeral home guy, and he said, can she see her son? He said, I don't think it's a good idea.
Oh.
Every bone in his body was broke.
Oh.
And his head was crushed.
Oh.
They told me this later. And I said, well, why can't you just keep him covered up and let me hold his hand? I just want to hold his hand.
Yes, of course.
I said, I just want to touch him.
Yes.
And they wouldn't let me.
Mm.
And I have never gotten past that.
No, okay. Mm. When was this? Was it a long time ago?
This was about 4 or 5 years ago.
Mm.
That was a bad month.
Yes.
But
so you've really been in the shadow of death, really.
Well, and that was when I was a Christian then.
Yes.
And I was telling you that the other day. That's when I found out that Christians weren't exempt.
No.
Because I thought, why do you have to have both of my kids?
Mm.
And I didn't blame God
No.
for either one of them. I mean, I knew it wasn't his fault.
No.
But I just didn't get it.
No, and some people think that just because you come to Jesus, there will not be any hardship in life anymore.
Right. Well, I found out the hard way.
Yes, I know. This life is not heaven. Heaven will come where there will be no more tears. But on this side of eternity, there are tears. And I'm sorry that you have had to go through all of this.
Yeah. Well, God gives you back.
Yes.
Everything you've lost.
Yes.
I've got so many spiritual kids. It's unbelievable.
Wow.
And
Jesus has really restored you, hasn't he?
He has. He really has. He wrapped me in his arms.
Yes.
To where I didn't grieve so bad.
Mm.
And then this, let me tell you this.
Mm-hmm.
My aunt has a friend and my uncle that Yvonne and Bobby Brock.
Mm-hmm.
They have a friend that's is a pilot for American Airlines, and he's a Christian, and he has visions. And I got confirmation that day that he told Yvonne, he says, "Tell Becky, I seen her son, and he was holding his sister's hand."
Wow.
And that gave me confirmation that she made it to heaven.
Wow, yes.
And at least that's what I'm doing.
Yes.
Mm. And so that made a world of difference.
Mm.
My ex, he tried to parole twice, and I kept him from paroling.
Mm.
And the third time that he came up from parole, and I was a Christian then and going to church, I was a Christian the other 2 times when he had tried to come up for parole. And I thought, I went through so many phases. You're never getting out if I can help it.
Yes.
I wanted to be locked up in the cell with him for 5 minutes because I figured that's all it would take.
Oh, yes, I understand. You just had a lot of anger and hate.
Oh, yeah. I wanted to kill him. My son lived to kill him.
Oh, yes.
He, as a matter of fact, he was fixing to head back to California after he found out that he got out of prison 2 weeks before he got killed.
Oh.
And, people can just think about that whatever they want to, but, I figured the Lord goes before you. And
you thought your son might have done something bad otherwise.
He would have.
He would have.
I had sent him there a couple of weeks before this had happened because his half-sister got killed. And I said, you need to be with your dad. And he had his half-brother with him. And I said, I'm going to pay for you guys to fly home. I said, I'm not paying for your brother to come back because my son was trying to start a business and his brother was out stealing bikes and doing all kinds of stuff. I said, I'm not paying for him to come back. And I said, and I don't want you to get in any trouble. You got to promise me that you won't go looking for on my dime. And I said, because, Shane, if you do that to him or you kill him, you're not going to be any better than he was.
No.
And don't do that to your kids.
No.
And so he didn't. And he come back and he was kind of upset with me. But a friend of his had told me that he was headed back and he was going to finish off. And he didn't make it.
No.
But
in all these stories, and where was God in everything, and what did God allow or not? All these questions, we have to live with them. But if we have met Jesus, we know that He's good, and that one day we will have answer to all of these things. And one day
we won't even care.
Exactly. But if we still care, and He will explain to us, and it will make sense. But in the meanwhile, we'll have to trust.
And I do.
Yes.
And I do.
Yes.
He's given me a good life.
Yes.
And I met David at church.
Wow.
At Christ Church over there. And it was so funny because he had lost his wife. I never met him. And we ran in the same circles.
Oh, really? Yes.
Yeah. And I say that God did that because if I would have known her, we'd have never got together. Everybody loved her.
Oh.
Yes. And she was a good woman. And she started Secret Sisters over there.
Okay.
And I joined Secret Sisters right after she passed.
And Secret Sister, is that an organization?
It's like, a bunch of women that you draw names and you get them gifts once a month or whenever you meet. And
it's
they don't know
support
who it's
group
coming from. Yeah.
Okay.
And we had a lot of fun doing that. She started that, her and another lady. And after she passed away, people were telling my aunt and uncle and some friends of mine were saying, what do you think? Because I had just gotten to the point where I thought, okay, I'm ready for a companion or something.
Yes.
It had been 11 years. And they said, what about David? I said, David who? And they pointed him out and I said, I'm not interested at all. And then I found out that his wife had passed and stuff. And they asked me a little while later, I said, I can still see the hurt in his face and I'm not going there. And I thought I've been through enough.
Yes.
But I don't know how much longer it was after that. They finally talked me into going over and saying, just invite him out for a cup of coffee or something. And I said, well, that's a little far out of the box for me. But they finally talked me into it. And my friend says, you want us to go with you? I said, to ask him? I said, okay. So and my husband can't read. But I asked him, I was a nervous wreck. I said, if you'd like to go out and have a cup of coffee sometime, I would like that. And I handed him one of the church's business cards and I had wrote my phone number on it. And he said, where did you say you worked at? And I said, well, this is a church card. And I didn't, and my phone number was on it, and I didn't hear nothing from him for a long time. I was so embarrassed. I thought, I knew I shouldn't have done this.
Yes.
And I was going to, they had us in a section of the church for the older people. And I said, I'm going to go back to the other one. I'm not coming back here no more. I was so embarrassed. And about 3 weeks later, he called me. I guess he prayed about it for a long time. And 4 months later, we were married.
Wow.
But he's precious. God's been really good to me. I know God gave us to each other because we needed each other.
And has that relationship been a restoration for you? Because you've had some bad relationships in the past.
I don't really think about them much. I don't think about the bad anymore. I just think
That's
about
wonderful.
the good.
Yes.
And I was sitting at home ever since we decided to do this, thinking about things and trying to remember. There's a lot of things, that I don't remember until something makes me remember it, but
God is helping you to forget the things you don't need to carry.
And,
but can you see when you look back at your life, I know we talked about your mom praying for you, but can you see that Jesus has held his hand on your life?
He had to have.
Yes.
Yeah, I believe that. I know he had something else in store for me, because there is no way, I didn't like the person I was becoming.
No.
And there is no way I should be alive.
No. So he's a God of second and third and maybe fourth chances for you.
Right.
Yes.
He's kept his hand on me, and there's been a lot of prayer going up for me. And there always is. It seems like there's always something.
Yes.
But yeah.
And you love him.
I do.
Yes.
I do. I don't want to ever find out what it'd be like to not have him in my life anymore.
No, I understand.
It's just, yeah.
And I have come to know you late in life. I've only seen you as a faithful, member in the church. You're working hard in the pantry, helping other people. So I can really see how God has restored you.
Yes.
And especially when you tell all these details about your former drug addiction and your homelessness and all the bad relationship and everything that you have come out of, and that God has made something beautiful out of it.
He really has. That pantry was my heart.
Yes. And God has more in store for you. You can, in many ways, that you can serve him. But thank you for sharing this. And it's a wonderful testimony that there is no life that is too hard that Jesus cannot change it.
That's for sure.
Yes. Anything you want to pass on? Any last words of wisdom for people listening?
Don't give up on God, whatever you do.
No, because he's not giving up on you.
And if you have any addictions, give them to God.
Yes.
You got to give them to God, because they'll kill you. They will.
Yes.
I mean, that's cigarettes, alcohol, drugs. It's all the devil.
Yes.
I'm really paying for smoking for so many years. But I quit that too. You want to know what the hardest addiction I had that I quit?
No, yeah, tell me.
Pepsi.
Oh, really? And you quit Pepsi as well?
I quit Pepsi.
Wow.
Years ago, when I was trying to lose weight and go to Diet Pepsi. That was fun. But I finally did it.
Yes.
And I lost like 25 pounds in a month.
Wow.
But
so there's no addiction, not even Pepsi, that Jesus cannot set you free from. That's wonderful.
I had a huge Pepsi addiction. I mean, I went to bed with it, got up with it.
Oh. It's a real thing then.
It's a real thing.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
I was really addicted to that. And I had a huge Pepsi collection.
Wow.
I mean, I collected Pepsi stuff like you wouldn't believe.
Wow, it was really your thing.
I loved it. I've got a couple of things now, but not many.
No.
When I left California to get away from all the drugs and everything, and then plus the fact that I said, when gets out of prison, I don't want to be here. I didn't know if he'd want to finish what he started.
No, exactly.
Because he was wanting to kill me bad. But yeah, I left with 2 suitcases after 40-something years of housekeeping.
Radical reset.
Yeah. And God replaces everything.
Yes, He's a very good
I got
God.
more than I could ask for.
Wow.
You know, I mean, I'm not rich or anything like that. We have a home and it's paid for. It needs a lot of work, but it's ours.
Yes, it's beautiful. It's amazing what Jesus can do.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much for sharing.
You're welcome.
It's a wonderful testimony about God's goodness and God's transformative power.
Thank you for having me.
God bless you.
God bless you.